You're tuned in to the Foxboro BeatCast, a podcast for Patriots fans by Patriots fans. And here's your host, Kaleb McChesney.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Foxboro BeatCast. I'm your host, Kaleb McChesney. Alongside me, as usual, this offseason, it's Elsio Rosario. Elsio, how are you?
Doing great. The draft was as exciting as expected. Had a good time spending the first round with you, and had a good time either whining or getting excited about the day 2 and 3 picks.
Yep. This is going to be a pretty Patriot-centric podcast. I asked you to take a lot of notes on Patriots stuff. Maybe we come back early next week, maybe later this week, and talk about the NFL draft as a whole. We can grab somebody who can help us out with that for sure, I imagine. But the NFL draft is over. It concluded on Saturday, all 7 rounds, and the Patriots picked in all 7 rounds.
Yeah.
I think the class ended up being, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players total. A lot of fresh faces, and then you add on the 15 UDFAs we've signed so far. That adds up to 26 new players from this draft class on this roster. We're going to go through each of the draft picks, and then I'll run down the list of UDFAs, names to keep an eye on. We'll talk about it. I'm not a huge fan of draft grades, Elsia. I don't know if you are. You're more than welcome to give a grade on picks as we go by. I'm personally not going to do that. It's one of my things is like I'm not going to grade the draft until after it's pretty much so that we can kind of see what these guys are like on the field, how they panned out, and then you give the grade. I don't like giving a grade before because I have no clue how these guys are going to perform when the lights come on in September. And then if that's even the final grade, like you can go into September of next year and there's regression, there's progression. So I typically avoid grades. If you like grades, then you can just hand them out as we go along. That's more than fine. I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate that. But before we kick it off, I guess we should just get to it, huh?
Yeah, let's run through.
All righty. The first pick of the Patriots draft was, in fact, offensive tackle Will Campbell with the 4th pick. If you're wondering why no trade down, apparently the calls were pretty quiet. The Lions were pretty soft-spoken when the Patriots came on the clock, and they said, you know what, we're just going to take our guy. Ends up being offensive tackle Will Campbell. Elsio, we were there live. We talked about it on live. We're removed a couple days. Has your opinion changed at all? What's your overall take for people who maybe didn't catch our stream on Thursday night?
If I had to give a grade, I think it's an A+. You know, we talked about the possibility in our primer of Will Campbell. I brought up some of the cons per se, mostly the short arms. That's really all you have for cons, in my opinion. He's joining a line that was last in pass pro last year and almost last in run protection. He's a dog. I don't know how you can look at his answer about fighting and dying to protect Drake May and not like it. Just a good pick, and I'm glad they didn't trade down because their team trading up to 4 might have been going after Will Campbell, to be honest with you.
Yep. Like I said, didn't have a ton of suitors for that pick, so the Patriots stick and pick. They get their guy. Maybe not the consensus best guy on the board. That might have belonged to Ashton Genty. But overall, I agree. The Patriots knocked it out of the park with that pick. Nice, safe, easy. And now Drake May has a friend to protect him on the blind side and who's willing to fight and die for him. So there you go. Drake May, I'm sure, loves that pick. Patriots love that pick. He's everything you want in a variable guy from what I read. Will Campbell was your pick at number 4, and he's wearing number 66 for the Patriots this preseason. So that's that. Moving on to round 2. The Patriots selected running back Travion Henderson from the Ohio State University. Well regarded coming out of college as a pass protector, 3-down back. He's great in the pass game, not only as a pass protector, but he's got good hands. Really explosive, takes a lot of plays to the house for a touchdown. And we all know the Patriots need a running back. Ramondre Stevenson had quite the fumbling issue last year. Dealt with some injury, I believe, as well. Antonio Gibson not a 3-down back by any means. And I don't even know who else the Patriots have on that depth chart. So, Elsio, Travion Henderson, the pick at 38 in round 2. What's your thoughts?
I was shocked, but I probably shouldn't have been. I guess I was expecting Ramondre Stevenson to try to survive two, head coaches, two cultures that did not draft him, despite the fumbling issues last year. I give the pick an A. The only knock is that there's Luther Burden taken shortly after, but I like Henderson. Great and pass pro. And if they view him as a 3-down back, that's even better because I think he can be. And I guess Ramondre Stevenson's leash was just shorter than I thought it was at this team.
And, when a new coach comes in, it's always easy to just be like, okay, I want my guys in here. I want guys that I like. Ramondre could just be victim of that as well. But one of the people I respect on Twitter, Evan Lazar, he works for the Patriots. He's kind of a film guru, X's and O's, all that fun stuff. He writes Henderson could go to – this is pre-draft. Henderson could go too early for the Patriots to draft a running back. He didn't. But his skill set is intriguing, along with Breece Hall, who he comped him to. There are shades of Jahmyr Gibbs in his game. The Ohio State product is loose, explosive mover with breakaway speed and instant acceleration. He's a blur in the open field with the ability to destroy pursuit angles and fluidity to stop on a dime. Henderson will be at his best in a platoon as a change of pace back, where his dynamic play speed will make him one of the most dangerous players on the field. Pairing him with Ramondre Stevenson was too enticing to leave Henderson off my board, and that's exactly what happened. I don't expect him to be a 3-down back just coming out. He'll probably have to work his way up to that. Have to fight Ramondre Stevenson for that starting back role, but I could see this in a couple of years being very similar to what Devon Achane is to Miami, that explosive playmaker. And I look forward to seeing him. I thought that 38 was a little rich for a running back when we went into it. I said that to you. I said that to everybody. But Patriots didn't, and they went and got the guy who I think was probably best served to use that pick on if you're going to use it on a running back. So we take a national championship running back at pick 38 with Travion Henderson, and that will be that. Elsio gave it an A. We're on a hot streak of an A+ and an A. We'll see if that continues with the 69th pick in round 3. The Patriots selected wide receiver Kyle Williams out of Washington State. Now, I don't believe we went over him on our primer, Elsio. What do you have? What do you think of this guy?
Well, I just hadn't thought about him because I was going to different extremes that really kind of kept me out the third round. I was looking at either second round guys or like 5th or 6th round guys. So this guy kind of was in the middle of those ranges, just kind of hanging out. But I like Kyle Williams. I think at worst it's a B+. I think you could talk me into an A-. Deep threat, downfield guy, really good type of receiver fit for Drake May and his lively arm. Doesn't have to be the number one right away. You have Stephon Diggs to take pressure off. He can just do his own thing as a rookie. Ran well enough at the combine.
4.4 40 flat.
Yeah. I do like the pick of Kyle Williams a lot. And
I like that he's different than the receivers we have in the building. Very big. It's a big yak kind of guy. Yard after catch, get it and go. He's not going to be operating out of the slot. He's not undersized by any means. He's a true outside receiver who can make things work. The Beast had a round 3 grade on him, round 2 to 3, and we got him in the 3rd. They write his strengths are explosive driving off the line of scrimmage, varies release package to shake defenders and get vertical, makes dynamic speed cuts to create separation out of breaks, short area bursts to skirt tacklers, tracks ball downfield and can take it out of the air. NFL scouts gave him strong character feedback. And in 2024, he posted the 3rd most receiving yards in a season in Washington State history. He's a little small, 5'11", 190. He's not a midget by any means. He's just small. And he's a fifth-year senior, age 22, going to be 23 in November. I like this pick. I like this pick a lot. I think, like I said, it's a different kind of receiver than what we have, and he's going to carve out his own role in his own way. I'm not sure if he puts pressure on Jalen Polk or Javon Baker because he's so different. But I think Jalen Polk's gonna have another chance. Kayshon Boutte might be the guy who suffers the most from this. He's gonna be in a right competition with the guy who was taken in the third round as a sixth-round receiver who hasn't quite lived up to the hype. To what he was in college anyway, before he got in all the trouble. So I like the pick. I like the upside. I like that he's different. And we're going to go from there. Next up, the Patriots picked again. I believe this is 26 picks later. They traded down a couple of times for pick 77, picked up some extra late-round picks. At pick 95, they finally stood and picked an interior offensive lineman, the best center in the class by most people's accounts. An interior offensive lineman. His name is Jared Wilson out of the University of Georgia, the Bulldogs. It looks like the Patriots are going to replace a Bulldog with a Bulldog, Elsio, with Jared Wilson. I believe we talked about him in our primer, but let's just have a refresher.
Yeah, A+. I think I had
A+. Elsio is not is certainly showing his love for this class.
I think I had him as my best center in the primer. I stand by that. I think the Patriots did really good work being able to trade back and get some extra capital and get Wilson. He's really good, and you can move guys around now on the inside because we had mentioned the right side of the line being really solid, but the left side needing help. So really, this might help build up that left side in a way. Wilson's great. Good value at 95. I thought I wouldn't have been mad if they took him in the second after a trade back or something, but I'm happy with him here.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. He's got large hands, flexible hips. The only downside is he's only played for one season, and his arm length isn't awesome. And he doesn't have a proven positional versatility. He only played 93 snaps at guard, but the Patriots probably drafted him to be a center. Garrett Bradbury, Cole Strange, they're going to have to fight it out. Maybe they move Jared Wilson to guard, and then you have Strange and Bradbury fight it at center. But I do like the upside here with Wilson for sure. Thought it was a steal at pick 95. You're just going to need to help him grow and mold him into it. I think this is a high upside pick. Another big school kid. This is 3 out of 4 picks where they all came from big schools: LSU, Ohio State, now Georgia. The only lone outlier being Washington State, which isn't exactly a nobody's. It's not like we drafted him at Chattanooga, but so far I think this class is very conventional. You're taking guys out of big programs that had big success and making it work. And so far, so good.
I agree.
Alrighty. As you guys can tell, I'm probably still a little congested, a little stuffy from my cold a couple weeks ago, but we're on the mend. Up next, this is the first pick I didn't love. Safety Craig Woodson out of California. Where did the Beast have him ranked here as I go to safeties? They had him at a 6th round grade, the 17th ranked safety. Elsio, what do you make of this guy?
Well, I can't give it an A. I don't think it's like god awful. He does fill a need, even if we feel like it's a reach, and I think we agree that it was a reach. But I think you had better safeties you could have gone that were taken after him. I know if the Patriots are anything like you, it really hurt that they missed out on Andrew Makuba.
And they didn't even get my second guy in Billy Bowman. I think he went a couple picks after this.
Yeah, I was going to say, for example, Billy Bowman went like right after, and I think he's a better safety.
By the way, no bias. This is Alex Bowman on my T-shirt, not Billy Bowman.
uh,
But
I'll
yeah,
give
let me
it.
read the analysis that Lazar wrote. Woodson was the first and only pick the Patriots made that broke from consensus. The consensus media boards in my rankings certainly aren't as thorough or complete as the 32 teams, so I'm not suggesting that the media knows better than any NFL team. Still, Woodson was ranked 197th on Arif Hassan's consensus board and wasn't on my radar as a top 10 safety in this draft. Again, that says more about the media missing than the team. Woodson played in California's split safety heavy defense where the Bears use their safeties interchangeably. Cal Bears, not Chicago. Woodson has played split safety, single high safety, and has rotated into the box short zone distribution. He has experience as a center fielder in the deep part of the field, while Woodson also covered tight ends, but man coverage is not currently considered a strong suit of his game. From this perspective, Woodson is at his best as a zone defender thanks to solid instincts, good play speed, 4.45 40 dash, and adequate open field tackling abilities. During the pre-draft process, we discussed the need for a true free safety who could allow for Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers to play in the natural spots closer to the line of scrimmage. I was there with you. I think we both agreed that Patriots needed that free safety. Woodson fits that mold, even though he went a bit higher than the projections expected. So maybe it's not too bad of a reach. If I was going to grade it, it'd be a C because you fill the position in need, and I'm going to give benefit of the doubt that, hey, these teams know more than I do.
Yeah.
But when the Eagles robbed me of Makuba, I was like, damn, dude. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a B minus because
you're being really favorable with these grades, Elsie. Don't be afraid to trash them.
I put a little more stock into filling the need. He fits what we described him needing. And it was a reach. I feel like reaches can work out sometimes, but worst case, it didn't work out, and that ages into like an F pick. But I'm giving the benefit of doubt to. I'll put stock into the need and give him a B minus here, close to a C though.
31 picks later, near the end of the fourth round, the Patriots selected defensive lineman Joshua Farmer from Florida State.
Yeah. I like Joshua Farmer. I think there's a good deal of versatility from Joshua Farmer. I believe he can kind of move him around that D line. He can rush the passer. He can stuff the run. In the fourth round, the value's good. It's fine. Don't think he's the youngest guy. He's 22, so he's not mega old either. Just about average. I don't remember his testing, so you might have to brush me up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Good size though.
He was ranked as the 10th best tackle on Dane Bugler's Beast Guide. Was 76 in the top 100. You got him at pick 137. He is 22 and a half. He'll be 23 in January.
Yeah.
His testing, what did you want to know? His
I just
bench
don't
press?
remember. Did he test well? How did he run and stuff like that?
Well, he ran a 5.11 40.
Fine for a D tackle.
And he had 26 reps on the bench press.
Yeah, so he tested relatively well. I think it's a good pick. It's not the sexiest pick. It's a defensive tackle in the fourth round, but you gotta still value wise. Got a guy that you could definitely use on the team. Yeah, I mean, just a good pick, honestly, in my opinion.
This guy compared him to your boy in Pittsburgh, Keanu Benton.
Yeah, and if you get a Keanu Benton, you're in for a good time. He's a fun guy to watch play the game of football. Big space eater, can rush the passer from that D tackle position, you're in for a good time.
And then 9 picks later in the 5th round, the Patriots get another edge on another steal on the edge, and Braden Swinson from LSU.
Yeah,
A lot of guys had him as a second round pick.
yeah. How did Braden Swinson fall to the 5th? Did he bomb interviews on purpose? Did he uppercut one of the owners or a member of their family? I don't know, but Swinson is a good athletic edge.
He was ranked 17th on the Beast. He was the 100th player in the top 100, and you got him at pick 146.
Yeah, so the value's there. You have Landry and Keon White in that room, but we talked about needing, some more depth and maybe a more long-term guy because we don't know how much Landry has left, and we haven't quite seen it from Keon White yet. Swinson's that guy. You don't have to start him right away if there's concerns about him being raw, but he's got the tools, athleticism. If he can develop, I think you're in for a good edge rusher here. He has the traits, just gotta see the production here in the league when he gets the chance.
Kind of reminds me of Clavion Chason when he was coming out for a current Patriot right now. Except maybe not as bad character concerns. There are some. He butted heads with coaches over his years. But you can kind of hem that in, get Vrabel to kind of feed into him, get Terrell Williams to kind of get the most out of him. That could end up being really good. You can get a year like Chase had with the Raiders last year, which kind of showed why he was a first-round pick all the way back when he was coming out of LSU.
Yeah.
So I'm optimistic for that pick as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Did you give a grade?
Braden Swinson, just due to the value, what I think of him as a player, eh? Yeah.
Not a pick you don't like in this draft, huh?
I'm not as in love with the Woodson pick, but it did fill a need, and it could work out still, yeah.
36 picks later in the 6th round, the Patriots, I believe, either traded up for this pick or this was kind of a result of a couple of the trade downs. They picked kicker Andreas Borregales from Miami with the 182nd overall pick. He was the consensus best kicker.
Yeah. Uh, not a bunch to say. It's kicker. He has a pretty good leg. He can kick the ball fairly far, and he can kick it fairly accurately. I'm not a kicking expert here,
Neither of us are.
but
We just kind of have to assume to know that, or we have to assume the masses know more than we do at this point. But the one thing I will say, kicker in Miami, how often are you kicking in those New England winners?
yeah, good point. Because he's kicking in balmy weather pretty much all year in Miami for 3-4 years. I mean, I will throw a grade just because it's a pick, but I'm going to give it a B. It's a kicker. I don't know if he should get bumped up, bumped down.
No, B's fine. I would largely agree. All right, up next, the Patriots went and got another offensive tackle.
Yeah.
At 222nd overall. His name is Marcus Bryant. He started at left tackle for Mizzou last season, opposite of first-round pick of the Jets, Armand Membu. He's 6'7", 320, with 34 and 5/8 inch arms, athletic, power, tall, big. What do you make of him?
I like him. There's some upside. I'll give it like a C plus, B minus type range because it's good depth. I think that's what it'll end up being unless you have to kick Will Campbell inside, which I don't think you will have to, but he could be a good swing tackle for the Patriots, good depth piece. I
The
think
Beast ranked him in there as a 36th tackle and don't even have a write-up on him. That's crazy.
I think he's a bit raw, probably, so you'll have to develop the guy. But you picked him in the 7th, so if you weren't prepared to have to do that, then that's more on you than the player. He's a 7th round tackle. There's a reason he's here. Raw, big though, so if you can develop him right, you've got a good kind of swing tackle where God just step in case of disaster.
Well, I would agree. Further in the 7th round, we selected long snapper Julian Ashby out of Vanderbilt. Joe Cardina is 33 years old, captain, Super Bowl champion. The Patriots seem like they might be preparing for life after him.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're immediately getting rid of him. They might just keep him in camp, put him on the practice squad, let him develop, let him learn, and then when Joe Cardina calls it a career and goes full time with the Navy, as he's doing right now, maybe that opens the door for him. It's a long snapper, guys. So,
Yeah.
what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same with kickers for me. Like,
It's even worse than kickers because, like, the only way we know that you're doing your job is so long as you don't have bad snaps. Like, you have one job, do it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long snapper. He can snap the ball long. Yeah, but seriously, it's kind of one of those types of picks. People are like, do we really need this? And to that, I will say yes. You need a long snapper, and you need him to be good. Because I remember Steelers and Bengals week 1. The Bengals are a lot better on paper. We somehow force overtime, and their long snapper gets hurt.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
That was disastrous. That change in their like procedurals. Evan McPherson was missing like 10-yard kicks because the snap was bad, and they were having to
Adjust
bobble
the
and
last
mess
second.
with the ball. Yeah. So you do need it. I mean, it's a fine pick in that regard. I'm giving it a C because again, it's long snapper. I don't know anything about the position, but I do know it's a necessary and needed position.
And with Mr. Irrelevant, the Patriots had Mr. Irrelevant pick this year. At pick 257, they took defensive back Kobe Minor out of Memphis. He is 5'11", 182. Played primarily on the outside. He's not a slot corner by any means, which we do have plenty of. Doesn't look like the Beast had him ranked. Still scrolling here. Yeah, no, wrong Memphis guy. As we search and search and search and search. Yeah, he had him as the 127th ranked corner.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? Maybe he didn't even watch him.
Yeah, hard to say.
The 7th round corner. He transferred, I believe, from where did he transfer from? Kobe Meyer. Kobe with 2 E's.
Yeah, 2.
Transferred from Indiana in 2023, and he played Texas Tech for a couple years. Dallas, Texas native. He played 10 years at Texas Tech, mostly on special teams. Transferred to Indiana, where he made 9 starts. And then he transferred again to Memphis, and he played in 11 games, 38 tackles, 2 sacks, 6 pass deflections, and 2 forced fumbles. Seems like a real scrappy dude.
Yeah.
So his brother also plays football. He's a linebacker at Memphis. So
Nice. Maybe you'll get him.
maybe. All right, that's your Patriots draft class. Overall, Elsio, you want to give it a grade? Because I'm not.
Overall, solid A. I graded a lot of these picks highly. Was tempted to grade minor low just because of the A minor tweet, and I want to let whoever runs that account know that doesn't mean what you think it means. And you might have
They deleted it, by the way.
allegation at
They
your
deleted it.
corner. Yeah. I get it. His last name's Minor. That's what they were going for, but yeah, it didn't work.
I think they could have kept it up, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, It would. It's a meme. It's a meme, if nothing else. I like Miner, though. Fast, probably a bit raw, but you got him. He's Mr. Irrelevant. You don't have to start him immediately. Good class, I think, for Abel. Wolf did good to work together, kind of bring in this first crop of talent to build up the new way, whatever that may be. Yeah, happy with it.
Want to go through some of the UDFAs? I know you don't know any of them by name, but we can go in and talk about them a little bit. The first one, the Patriots needed a depth quarterback. We only had 2 on the roster. I wanted to draft one, specifically my guy out of Minnesota, Max Brosmer. He goes back to Minnesota. He stays with the Vikings, which is good for him. The Patriots went and signed a quarterback named Ben Woolridge out of Louisiana. He's the 3rd quarterback now behind Mason Dobbs. He played the last 3 seasons at Louisiana and completed 66% of his passes for 453 yards and 17 touchdowns with 6 interceptions last year. So there you go. That's your depth quarterback for this offseason. I'm sure that there might be 1 or 2 more to come. Up next, the Patriots drafted Rex Burkhead, or they signed Rex Burkhead 2.0 with Lan Larison, running back out of UC Davis. 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns last season on the ground. 62 catches, 874 yards, and 6 touchdowns, and he's never fumbled. I think that's really interesting.
You can say about Ramon Jason.
Seriously, yeah. So that's Lan Larison out of UC Davis. A fullback out of Northern Illinois, Brock Lampy, 6'1", 252. He played 4 seasons for the Huskies and tallied 2 total touchdowns in 2024. And then they went and got another fullback. His name is Dwayne Martin out of Louisville. He played both fullback and tight end, so 2 fullbacks.
Fullback mania here in Foxboro.
Josh McDaniels is in the building. We're going to have a competition for that spot. It's a very important spot in the Josh McDaniels offense.
Yeah.
You think over the years, James Devlin, Jakob Johnson,
yeah.
Joey Iosefa.
They made fullbacks that people knew their names, like they were at least somewhat mainstream. And
you remember James Devlin with the neck brace? Yeah. That dude was legit.
Big neck brace, yeah.
Up next, they signed Efton Chisholm III out of Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's alma mater. He's also a fellow white guy. Chisholm broke Cooper Kupp's single-season record with 120 catches last year, while also tallying 1,311 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. He played well at the Senior Bowl as well. He joins Kendrick Bourne as an Eastern Washington alumni on this roster. I would imagine he's going to be an immediate fan favorite, Elsio, don't you?
I do, yeah, and especially when they're being told he broke Cooper Kupp's record. That people are going to be saying, "Hey, we got Cooper Kupp on our roster."
Where was Cooper Kupp drafted? What round?
Let me see.
He was a 3rd round pick.
Oh, nice.
69th overall.
So nice Cooper indeed. Kupp went a little bit higher than this guy, obviously.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that
marginal difference.
Drafted.
Marginal difference at best. They got a pair of receivers. Along with him, Demir Blake Umsey, wide receiver out of Memphis, Kobe Miner's teammate. Blank Umsey is a speedy wideout who caught 45 passes for 677 yards and 6 touchdowns at Memphis in 2024. So there you go. Nice. Then they went and got Jeremiah Webb from South Alabama, ran a 4.4940 as pro day, 36 catches for 649 yards and 5 touchdowns in 13 games for Southern Alabama last year. We'd like to get the measurables on this guy. What's his name? Jeremiah Webb. What do we got? He is 6'1", 196. And Demir Blank Umsey is 5'10", 185. So a couple of little speedsters.
I was going to say, I'm not going to lie, I expected Jeremiah Webb to be like 5'7" or something.
at 449.
Don't know why.
Up next, a couple of tight ends.
Yeah.
Out of big schools. G. Scott Jr. out of Ohio State. He reunites with Travion Henderson, the second-round pick. He got 27 passes for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Buckeyes. He played 5 seasons for the Buckeyes and won a national championship with them, as did Henderson last year. And then they got C.J. Dupree from Alabama. Started all 13 games for Alabama last year. Tallied 21 catches for 256 yards.
Yeah.
He's pretty athletic for someone listed at 6'5", 250. He had a 9.13 RAS score, so that's solid.
Nice, yeah.
God, they signed a guy out of Merrimack?
Merrimack.
That's a school up here in New England. Cole Bordeaux, OT from Merrimack. Patriots went and got another guy, and then they signed Boston College lineman. His name is Jack Conley, 6'7", 325. Started all 12 of his games at BC and earned an all AAC or all ACC honorable mention. So there you go.
Yeah.
You got Bill O'Brien producing a lot of NFL talent down there. A couple of guys got drafted at BC this year. Elijah Ponder, defensive end from Cal Poly. Ponder is a very athletic DN, tallied 41 tackles, 2 pass breakups, 1 fumble recovery, and a blocked kick. He had a 9.7 RAS score.
You know, I mean, hey, what's up if the Patriots getting all these high RAS scores, guys at UDFAs?
Yeah, they're just looking for some athleticism. Up next, Elsio, stand up. Wilfred Henne, DT from VTech.
Hey.
6'3", 253, 33 tackles, 7 for loss, and a pass breakup, as well as 3.5 sacks for the Hokies defense in 2024. Do you have any insight for us, or was he just a guy?
I'm going to be honest with you. There's a reason he's an undrafted free agent. He was just a guy.
The Patriots went and got Javari Ritzy out of UNC, also a defensive tackle, as well as Bryce Ganius. I kind of like that last name.
Yeah, Ganius.
Hector Johnson, DT out of Endicott. Cam Riley, linebacker from Florida State.
Yeah.
Brandon Crossley, DB from SMU. Jordan Polk, DB from Texas State. And Josh Minkins, a safety from Cincinnati. So those are all of your UDFAs for that. Say that again?
I said Josh Minkins also had a high RAS.
Yeah. So Patriots, they focus on athleticism in their UDFAs outside of the quarterback, who is a stiff white guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's your Patriots draft recap, everybody. Nailed this down in just about 40 minutes. Solid outing. We'll come back next week, or the week, or later this week, and we'll talk about some of the NFL stuff as a whole. We'll talk about Shedeur Sanders dropping all the way down to the 5th round. We'll talk about some of the other classes. We'll go over our AFC East rivals, see how we kind of stack up, and we'll go from there. So, Elsio, thanks for coming on for this little short episode of the Foxboro BeatCast. And I'm sure you'll be back when we go to our NFL at Large show.
Yeah.
We'll work the phones, try to see if anybody wants to come on. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow the show on Facebook and Instagram, and follow me on Twitter. Argue with me if you want, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Foxboro BeatCast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.